How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and one of the questions that I'm always asked in these crazy boom markets, and I've been through a few now, is what are you buying, right? The prices are going crazy for all sorts of cards. What are you buying? What do you think is a good purchase in this market? And while I can't answer that question for everyone, what I am going to do is show you what I have been buying in this market, and you can take from it what you like. And I'll explain the reasons why I'm buying these cards as well. So without any further ado, let's crack into it. I've got this split up into a couple classes of cards. I've got a giant stack. These are all graded cards here. As you can see, we got a nice thick stack of graded cards that I've picked up over the last couple weeks or so. So first thing I'm buying, and you'll see a couple of these, is the first class of cards is really these special arts from the Sword and Shield era. Some of them started to go up recently, but they've been sort of sitting around at expensive prices for a while. But what was expensive, a year ago is arguably cheap now, given the way the rest of the market has moved. So I think especially as these cards get older, and these are fantastic artworks. Things like this Celebi V promo and, English counterparts for most of these cards, probably similar story. But, I picked up 3 of these Celebi V, Jet Black Spirit booster box promos in PSA 10. I think I paid $150 each for these cards. Now in Japan, you're really looking at about $100 just for a raw copy of one of these cards. And once you pay the grading fees and the shipping fees and all sorts of the fees that go on top of that, I think it just makes sense to buy the already graded 10. So that's what I've been doing. I bought 3 of these for $150 each, and I've been very happy with that purchase. I did already have some 10s of this, but I love this card. And I think, $150 for a Celebi special art that looks as good as this is a great purchase. So I bought it. As I mentioned, I'm not just buying the Celebi booster box promo. I think a lot of the Sword and Shield era special arts are good purchases right now. Another one that I purchased, I've been having my eye on this card for a long time, the Lugia V full art from Paradigm Trigger. Started to see prices move up and just decided, it's time to do it. This card's been gone up a little bit in the past couple of years or so, but it's always been expensive. It's always been a lot of money. And I think, now we're 3 years out. This card is not getting printed again. Paradigm Trigger is out of print. Did have a reprint run. I picked up some sealed booster boxes when it did that reprint run. But this artwork is incredible. I think this is one of the defining artworks of the Sword and Shield era. Probably maybe in the top 5, along with the Giratina special art, the Moonbryon, the Gengar VMAX, those kind of cards. This card is obviously up in a class of its own with them. So really, really happy with this. I love this card. And I actually, the cert number here is interesting. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6. So we were just, if we switch those, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be pretty cool. I actually tried to look up what cert number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is. 7, 8, 9, and it didn't come up. So they must have done something fun with that card or something. Here's another card that I purchased. This is just one that I like. There's no value proposition in this card. I like Best of XY Reverses. I love this Yveltal artwork. So very much thank you to Thunder Moo Cards, for selling this card to me. Please go check him out. He's got a huge eBay store full of awesome stuff. So definitely go purchase from him. But I picked up this Yveltal Best of XY Reverse. I love the foil pattern on these Best of XY cards. Really, really nice. So not too expensive. just an interesting card to buy and add to the collection. Yeah, so that was a great purchase. Cards that you want and that you enjoy at prices you're comfortable paying are always good buys. I keep saying this all the time. I think that if you can never regret buying a card, if you can afford it, if you can spend the money, if you're comfortable paying the price that the card is, then you'll never go wrong. Even if the card goes down in value, up in value, you can always say, well, I had the money. I thought it was a good price. I was comfortable paying that to get the card, and I did. Next thing I'm buying, I'm trying to fill out my black and white ultra rare collection. I think, again, there's 2 points to this. Number one, I really need these cards for my collection. There are a couple black and white ultra rares left that I need to have all of them in. I'm probably not going to be able to get all of them in 10s, but to have all of them in, 8 plus. I'll buy 10s when I can afford it, and when I am comfortable paying it, as I've mentioned before. So Dusk Noir, pick this up, PSA 10. And interestingly, there's some value proposition in this as well, right? I'm not just buying these for my collection. I'm also buying them because I think the prices right now are very good. And yeah, just look at the foil pattern on this Dusk Noir. It's incredible. Once we got into the gold ultra rares, these were really something else. Yeah, so these you can usually get for some of the lesser ones, the Dusk Noir, the Sigilif, that kind of stuff. The lower end of these gold ultra rares, Virizion, things like that. You can get those for around $500. I think I paid under $500 for this one, but in Japan they are basically the same price raw, in like raw near mint condition. So it's interesting that you're able to get them in 10s for about the same price as it would be to buy a raw one in near mint or better condition, not even worrying about PSA grading. And again, these cards are 12, 13 years old, depending on which ones you're buying. So I think these cards are excellent purchases, and I've been buying them. So I've been buying the ones I need, right? So I needed Dusk Noir, I needed Crocodile from Dragon Blade, so I bought that in a 10. Similar price, I think in the upper 400s for this card as well. Yeah, expensive, that's a lot of money to spend on a card, but given what the prices are doing in Japan, I need it for my collection. I've been selling off a lot of stuff that I'm, comfortable sort of moving into more cards that fill holes in my collection rather than just sort of having stuff sitting around. Speaking of cards that fill holes in my collection, and also cards I think are fairly priced at the moment, we've got Level X cards, Japanese Level X and PSA 10. Picked up the Haunch Crow Level X. This is one that, for some reason, I was never able to grade in a 10. So I have been adding this, looking to add this to my collection, was recently able to do it. This was cheap. This was like under $150. I think like maybe $125, $130, maybe $140. I don't exactly remember how much I paid, but yeah, this was excellent. Very happy paying that price. And this adds to my Level X collection. So I was very happy to pick that up. I think, yeah, cards from 2007, Japanese PSA 10, these are not easy to get anymore. Paying a number that starts in 1 or even 2 for these cards and is, 3 figures and starts in those numbers is great. Very, very good value proposition. Another Level X that I needed the Palkia G Level X in a PSA 10 from Galactic's Conquest. I picked up this recently as well, and this was, I think, maybe $230 or something like that. Again, picking up Level X cards, old Japanese, ultra rares in prices that are 3 figures and start with 1 or 2. Even if we go into 3, I think there's still very good deals in that range. And most of the Level X's are in that area right now. Diamond and Pearl, even like EX, Diamond and Pearl, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver just seems to be passed over, and now like Black and White and X and Y are jumping up in Japanese, which is interesting. They're sort of following along with English. But yeah, it's just interesting to see that. Great time to collect Japanese level X cards if you grew up with those, if you like those. I think it's an excellent time, and I'm hopeful to finish off the rest of my set. I need 2 more cards in PSA 10. Unfortunately, they are the Darkrai level X and the Gengar level X, which is probably the most expensive level X card. I think a 10 of the Gengar is like $2,000 or something. So hopefully I've got one off at PSA that I'm hoping grades well. But if not, I might have to figure out how I'm going to afford that Gengar to finish off the collection. And last but not least, something that if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know I am going after the English EX era, the English EX era cards. These are expensive. I'm not going to lie. They are a lot of money, but not bad. Even, you know, compared to a lot of modern stuff, compared to a lot of like the gold stars, I think like the EX cards compared to the gold stars are still quite affordable. So I picked up this Rockets Entei EX PSA 9. I've been largely priced out of 10s on old English EX cards, but 9s are still affordable, and most 9s look very, very good. So Rockets Entei EX PSA 9. This was over 800, I think. So lots of money, but 2004 Rockets Entei EX in mint condition, I think that is still a good purchase. I was very happy to do that. And yeah, I've needed Rockets Entei for a long time, saw one at a good price, decided to pick it up. Next up, less exciting than Rockets Entei, picked up the Absol EX from Power Keepers. I think this one was in the low 200 range. Power Keepers EXs are some of the cheapest, which is kind of makes sense because Power Keepers is one of the most printed EX era sets. You look at all the ladder products and stuff, they all have Power Keepers packs in them. But still pretty cool to pick up these. And here's another one from Power Keepers. Got the Walrein EX. Mint 9, and yeah, 9s on all these cards. This Walrein was less than $100, which I think is insane. Insane. To pay less than $100 for a PSA 9 EX card from 2007. I mean, Walrein's not a super popular Pokemon, but still, less than $100. That is just shocking to me. Shocking. So this is why a lot of this stuff I'm saying is like, you know, I'm buying it for my collection. These are the ones I'm specifically buying for my collection because I need them and I'm comfortable paying the prices for it. But I think they're great buys anyway. You know, who knows if prices are going to go up, down, but just the quality of card that you get for the price is excellent. And here's the last one, Kingdra EX from Dragon Frontiers, PSA 9. I think this was just under 200. For this card. So yeah, I'm enjoying buying these EX cards. I'm enjoying buying them in, here's something you're not going to see on Instagram all that much. I'm enjoying buying them in older certification numbers that start in 2, 7's a little later, but 2, 4, 2, because I do not want my cards to be curted on. So I've been happy to pick up these cards. If I can find them in older cert numbers to know that they have not been messed with in any questionable ways, I am always happy to do that. So there we go. That is what I've been buying. In short, old English EX cards in PSA 9, level X's, Japanese, PSA 10. I've been picking up black and white ultra rares. Random cards I just want to buy that I think are well priced and fun, and some of the newer special arts. There we go. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and do with this information what you will. This is what I'm buying, but of course, buy what you like. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for more videos.